Thank you for tuning in to Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service. Today I'm going to bring you through the journey of rebuilding or repairing a Hifonics Brutus BRX1600.1D. What we'll do is we'll go through the steps that I take before I even start removing any parts or anything, just to make sure that everything goes back together the way it should. So you'll see here that this section of the board is actually burnt all the way through. So right off the bat, you know you're going to have to do some fiberglass epoxy repair here at these driver locations. But before you remove these, it's always a good idea to note what transistors you have in place. So for instance, we have the A1275 on the drivers on this, so I'm just going to write that down. And then we have the 3228 transistors on the drive circuit here. So let me change views. Let's see if we can get a little closer shot here. So you can see here, it's kind of behind the transformer here, but this black section here came from the transistors that literally exploded right here, split in half. So before these crumble in place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to note the placement of those transistors and the transistor type. So the first one is a 3228. The first transistor on the back side here is a 3228, and then a A1275, and then you're going to have a two resistors. Just right behind those, and then your capacitor here, and it looks like it melted that capacitor pretty good, so that capacitor is also going to get replaced. And then the other two transistors behind that one, of course, I'm going to note those, which is a 1275 and then a 3228. And then of course, and then I'm going to note the resistors that are in place. So then that'll allow me to be able to put the drive circuit back together without too much trouble. So you're going to have an NPN and a PNP transistor, a set per bank. So you're going to have a bank on this side, and you're going to have a bank on this side. So that's what I do before I even touch the board, because the silk screen's gone on these, so you won't even know the direction of the transistor unless you go through and determine which leg is tied to ground and which leg is tied to your 12 volts. So on my notes here, I will just notate the face of the transistor and the direction that it points in. So what I'll do is I will remove these. I'll use some isopropyl alcohol to clean up the resistors here to get the value. So it looks like you already have the value for the pull down resistor here, so it looks like it's a 2.2K, and then probably going to be a 100 ohm resistor for the base of these transistors. So that's the drive section, what I do before I remove anything. So then I move on to see what else is damaged in the power supply. Again, like in other videos, I state that I treat amplifiers in two sections, a power supply section and then the output section. Recognize that card there? I have a video on repairing that. So we'll get to that card when we get the power supply up and running. And just a quick note here, the primary cause of the failure of this is this capacitor right here. You can see the marks on the top cap there, because this capacitor was literally bouncing around in the amplifier on top of the circuit board, bouncing on the cover, which obviously you'll know right off the bat that that'll destroy your power supply, which it did. Took out every gate resistor. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you have 6 gate resistors, you have 6 transistors on each side, so all 6 gate resistors did burn completely through. So all 6 of those will have to be replaced. And if you notice, they're burnt so bad you don't even have a value for those. Typically you can calculate the value of your gate resistor based on the transistors that they're using. So let me show you what I use. I have a tool here, a little 1/4 inch open-end wrench in this direction, at this right angle here. And what I did is I cut that first tooth off. This works really great at just slipping into the transistor slot. Can I get a picture here? So it works really great. You slip it in the transistor slot, the clip pops right off. Slip it in the slot, pops right off. So that's my tool for removing these clips. I've seen people use screwdrivers, pliers, and pry on them, but they bend, and when you bend them and you try to bend them back to where they're supposed to be, a lot of times they'll break. So I highly recommend using a tool that'll slip up on that top edge and pop that clip right off. So these are the 50 N06 power supply transistors. For all the people that work on amplifiers, Hifonics uses the same layout, the same transistors on all their boards, so you get real familiar with the 50 N06, the IRZ 44Ns, 47 ohm gate resistors, 68 ohm gate resistors. You just get real familiar with the setup. So what we'll do is I will replace the 50 N06s probably with 3205s and use probably I'll probably use the 68 ohm gate resistors, and then what I'll do is I'll monitor the temperature of the transistors. So I can use a 47 ohm gate resistor for real quick off times, but it does, depending on the drive, these are real common drive cards, it may heat up the transistor. So when I get to that point, I'll just hook it up to the scope and watch the signals and put it under a load and see how the transistor responds with the resistor. So other than that, that's pretty much the power supply. We'll be replacing all the power supply transistors, all the power supply gate resistors, the drive circuit for the transistors, and let's see how far this hole goes down. Yeah, so that board is carbonized all the way through, so I'm gonna have to cut out all that board there. Real common on these. So I'll cut all this board out while keeping the traces as intact as much as possible, again to not lose the orientation of the traces and where they go. It's pretty easy to rebuild though once you get this all pulled out. Get the isopropyl alcohol on it, clean it up, and see what you can see. And we'll remove the output transistors and fire the power supply up. So I do have I'm going to replace all 4 of the rail capacitors here just to keep them matched, but I do have 3 different rail capacitors. I do have kicker rail capacitors, 2200 microfarad to 80 volts. I do have the the Nippon Chemicon, the KMH 2200 microfarad to 80 volt rail capacitors. These are a little bit bigger in height, but they'll still fit. And I do have these UseCon capacitors. They're, I don't know, I think they're going to be brothers to the Yecon. Some of these names are just ridiculous. So I'm probably going to use the Chemicon capacitors in this board, possibly, or I might just go ahead and use the kicker capacitors. Let's make a hybrid amplifier, I guess. Let me know, leave it down in the comments. What rail capacitors do you think we should put in this? I really don't care. This is personally owned. I bought this just for education purposes for you guys. We'll get it all fixed up and fired up and back together, and heck, if you wanna buy it, I'll go put it up on my website dirt cheap for you. Just let me know. So I will get back with you. We'll get this board out. We will start on the driver section here, get all this pulled out, and we will do some board repair. We'll do some epoxy board repair. So stay tuned. This is another typical Maxonics board repair. I do a lot of these boards. So we will be back shortly. Again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Stick around for more to come.